Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going lovely. Thank you so much for joining me. Well, today I get to share a project with you for the Spellbinders. We're using the Glimmer Kit of the month for March 2021. This month it's all about sentiments. It's called Let Your Sentiment Shine Brighter. I have my Glimmer machine heating up here. While it's heating up, I get to share with you all the sentiments in this month's kit. Now it's got a wide variety of sentiments. In fact, we're going to foil them all just so you can see how pretty the font is. I'm going to be using a brand new foil roll. There's two of them that are brand new this month, and the Glimmer Kit this month actually comes with a rose gold foil. We'll be using that in our project, but I want to foil the sentiments on some cardstock, have them ready to go. It's nice when your machine's already heated up, and it's a good way to show you guys the sentiments too. The foil that I'm using is called the Mini Rainbow Stripes. Spellbinders already has a rainbow foil, but the rainbow lines on it are wider. Now the mini one, they're more condensed, you can see here, so you get more of a double rainbow. So it's great for backgrounds or going horizontal or vertically. You could get most of the rainbow in there. I'm going to go ahead and foil a couple of them with the Mini Rainbow Stripes foil, and then I'm also going to foil a couple of them with my rose gold that came with the kit this month. I have my quick trimmer. This is just so nice. Love this little thing. This is actually great for travel too, guys. If you need a little craft mat, and instead of bringing your paper trimmer, I know, well, we haven't been traveling for a while on airports, but I know I always got nervous when I brought my paper trimmer through the airport. So this is nice to put in your little travel craft bag. Okay, I'm jibber jabbering, but in the meantime, I'm foiling all the sentiments you can see here. Now I have one sentiment left, and that's what we're going to use for our project. So we're going to foil that up, and I'm also going to bring in some brand new Glimmer Essential dies. This is the Duo Line Glimmer Essential rectangle. It has a double line, a thicker line, and a thinner line, and we're going to make a landscape style card. So I'm putting that sentiment right on the inside of it. For this, I'm going to use my rose gold foil. I'll add it to the top of it, and then I'll place my cardstock right on top, and then we'll let that heat up. And then we get to reveal all the sentiments. Like I said, there's a wide variety of sentiments in the Let Your Sentiment Shine Brighter set. This is wishing you a happy birthday. I think it goes perfect with the rainbow foil, kind of double foiled, but I think a sandy eraser will take that off. This is You're the Spring in My Step. That's super cute. And then with the rose gold foil, you have wishing you blue skies today and always. That's a nice lifter-upper. Should have did that with blue foil. I think that would have been pretty. And then for my last one, I think this would be a fabulous note card set, just the way this is. It says just a note to say thank you. If you're going to do a lot of these, put them on a smaller note card and then wrap it up with some pretty envelopes. I think that'd be really nice. Okay, this is ready to go. I'm going to remove the foil, and I do have excess foiling, so this is where your sandy eraser or any kind of eraser comes in. It just lifts up that foil that's you have too much of. Really easy. Now while my Glimmer machine's still out, we're going to create a background, and I'm bringing in some blue cardstock for my background. I'm just going to trim it in half, and then the Glimmer plate that I'm going to be using is one I've had in my stash. It's called Woven. And I haven't used this very much, but it's awful pretty, and I think it's going to make a great tone-on-tone background. I'm going to go ahead and tape it down and then add the foil versus putting it on my base plate on the Glimmer machine. This way I can just have it lined up. I want to make sure it's centered because I'm going to flip it over and create an entire background with this. So I wanted to use the lines on my grid mat. Then I'm also using some washi tape to secure it, kind of doing that hinge method. I'm going to go ahead and use some foil. This is so pretty. This is the Moon Dust foil roll. I think it goes really good with that cardstock. I'm just going to use my quick trimmer, trim down 2 long pieces. I'm going to need one for the left and then one for the right, and then we'll place this face up and then flip over our Glimmer plate that we have taped down, our little door, our little hinge door here, and then we'll place this face down on our Glimmer machine platform. And then we'll build our sandwich. The sandwich I have is like the perfect sandwich for me. I have like a piece of cardstock that I folded in half, and then some printer paper that I folded in half. Although I do have to adjust it depending on the thickness of my cardstock. But the cardstock that I'm using is pretty thick, so it's going to work out great. Now for my sentiment, I kept looking over there at my sentiment that says the spring is a time of hope and blessings. I foiled that with just one color. I used the rose gold, and the more I looked at it, the more I didn't think it was very springy. So I'm bringing in some matte gold, and we're going to do a redo real quick. I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine, and then after this is foiled, we'll just put this back, and then we'll scoot this right up on top here. We'll get back to that in a minute, but we'll lift this up, and I think it foiled beautifully. Now, I don't think this lines up too well, but since I'm going to put a pretty large panel in the middle, I'm not too concerned about it, but it did foil beautifully. I love the edge-to-edge two-tone look of this. Isn't that so pretty? I love the moon dust. I want to call it moonstone, but it's actually moon dust foil. Okay, we're just going to lay down our second piece of foil on that other side, and then we'll tape down our glimmer plate once more, kind of making that hinge. And then we'll pick this panel up and put it face down on our glimmer platform, and we'll let this heat up, and we'll get back to our little sentiment piece. I decided to trim down some rose gold foil, and that's going to be my frame portion with the duo lined rectangle. And then for my sentiment on the inside, we're going to have to foil this in two parts. I'm going to use the matte gold. So we're going to first reveal our background, and you can see it overlaps a little bit, but I'm not too concerned. And I did have a little bit of foiling that wasn't that visible, but it's going to be covered by our panel. So that's going to, as long as the edges were great, I'm happy. Okay, we're using the rose gold foil for my duo lined rectangle here. We'll run that through, and then once that's foiled, I can go ahead and foil my sentiment. I'm kind of lining it up again off to the left, taping it down, and then we'll let this heat up. This way my foiled panel has two foils on it, and I think it goes with the blue. So we have blue, the yellow with the matte gold, and then we have the rose gold. So I think they're nice, soft, springy colors. While that's warming up, I'm going to go ahead and adhere my panel directly to my card front. I want the entire front of my card base to be filled with this pretty blue. And again, this is going to be a landscape style card. After that's adhered, we'll go ahead, take our sentiment panel, and I think this looks way better than our all one tone. That's all the foiling that we're going to do today. So I'm going to make a little more room, and we'll put our glimmer machine off to the side and let that cool down. But I don't know if you guys know this, but the new Glimmer Duo, the Glimmer Essential line, coordinates with the regular Essential lines. So your dies will coordinate and line up. This set here is my Rectangle Essential die set. And so I'm just taking the one that will line up with this. We'll tape it down, and then we have a perfectly sized rectangle to go on the card front. That's the nice thing about our essentials, is they all coordinate. I'm going to go ahead and pop this up with a piece of foam adhesive. It's double-sided foam tape, actually. Single-sided, I add another layer of adhesive with double-sided tape. Place that in the center of our panel, and I love the colors. Next, for my embellishment, I've been loving the large Die of the Month Club Kit. I haven't created an interactive card with it just yet, but I have created a few cards with the little elements of it. So we're going to do one more card with the flowers that are in this set. They're layerable flowers, and I had some already that I had created with blues, pinks, and yellows. So I just pulled them out. If I have extra of the die cut pieces, I put them in the back of my package. And so this way they're good to go if I want to create. And so that's what we're doing with these three flowers. We're going to just add them to our spring card here. I'm putting one yellow to the right, the pink to the left here, and then we'll put the blue in the center. And I am popping them up with a small foam square, and eventually we'll glue down the stems of these so they're nice and secure. But after they're kind of positioned, I do want to put a bow at the very bottom of the stems. Kind of grounds them a little bit. I think a single bow would look nice, but we're going to actually double it up. This way we have a little bit more thickness, a little more ground to our flowers. After I tied my bow, I'm going to grab a glue dot, and then we'll just place one glue dot in the center here. And then we can go ahead and add our bow. And yet the bow is just not covering it where I want it, so I'm going to use my tool-in-one and just lift up that glue dot and put it at the very bottom of that blue flower, kind of tacking it down too. And then I'm going to take some of my glue and go ahead and glue down the pink and yellow flower directly to our background here, kind of holding it down so it stays secure. And then I'll add my white twine to my glue dot. I love the way that looks. After my bow is adhered, for finishing touches, I'm just going to add some little white dots to the base of the stems of my flowers. Just going to bring in a little bit more of that white with my white gel pen. Just little dots on that green portion. And then that finishes off my card today, guys, using the Spellbinders Small Die of the Month. Actually, forgive me. I'm using the Large Die of the Month Club Kit, but today I'm using the Sentiments in the Glimmer Kit. I do so many Spellbinders Club Kits sometimes. They run together. You can mix and match them. That's the best part about them. But thanks so much for stopping by. Have a lovely day, and we will see you again real soon. Bye-bye.